I believed I was special, and at some point, I thought whatever art I would create would be considered a masterpiece. I genuinely believed I was the chosen one. And oh my friend, that illusion did more damage than failure ever could. Are you suffering from that mindset? Is someone you know suffering from that mindset? I hope you'll find the answers you seek. I'll try not to be too gloomy or grave about it. It's not going to be a comedy show either, so... Yesterday I'm a faceless channel. I woke up with a black eye and I have no idea how it happened. And I didn't want to be a profile view face channel. Anyway, as I said in the intro, I believed I was special. I believed I was the chosen one. But how do you go from average kid with a fascination for art to some kind of creepy douchebag? Here's how. Well, at least for me. Most people around me kept saying I was a natural born artist or shit like that. I received tons of compliments, which, don't get me wrong, it's super important. It kept me going, but I was processing these compliments wrong. Then people, such as relatives or close friends, kept repeating I could enter fine art school without even trying, that I'll make a career. Thus I took the entrance test of the fine art school of the city where I was studying. So I took the entrance test, prepared nothing, got rejected. I used to think contemporary artists can do it, so do I. I started doing the shittiest things I could and tried to justify it with scrappy explanations. But that's not the best. I believed I could get away by simply saying,
"It's my style."
Whoever didn't recognize my genius was a peasant to me.
All of that because shit happened during my childhood and teenagerhood that led me to believe there was a scheme written for me somewhere. There's no destiny, no fate, nothing. Turning my brain on was both a tough period but also liberating. I had to go through a breakup and someone telling me, "No one's special," point blank. I got thrown away before I started asking myself the right questions. I went into a rabbit hole of reviewing my whole life. I saw myself from the eyes of others, like you see the world when you're wide awake. It was full of delusion, full of lies. It was painful to go through this period of rewiring my brain, checking on my values. But I'm not gonna lie, it was for the best. Oh, you don't have to feel concerned or targeted, neither is it to me to judge. It was just to say, this kind of mindset held me back for a while, so let's move on to something where I can judge you and you can judge me. The technical aspect of the problem. Cool, right? You need to know something. I would always borrow the easy way. Was I lazy? I don't know. But I didn't know the fundamentals at all and believed it will come by itself like an epiphany. I would keep on drawing pretty much the same stuff, sometimes trying new mediums, but always gave up when seeing my attempts weren't as good as my usual drawings. However, I did draw on a regular basis, but without real consistency nor scope. There was no intent, which is neither good or bad. Could be bad because it's not sustainable to put efforts without getting any outcome. But it's good because you create freely from imagination. You use your spontaneity where you meet an obstacle. Well, because of that, I learned slowly, and I would always bet on my best art to gain validation. You know, hiding hands, using the same 3 poses, same characters, this kind of curse. Though, sometimes I did copies of stuff I liked. Video game posters, manga pages, photos, anything really. It was just for my own pleasure without seeing it as an opportunity to learn. If you're in this situation, you must know that this is a slow growth process. It lasted until my early 20s. Well, until I turned my brain on. So what did I do, or what happened after? First and foremost, I accepted one of the most important things in life. Everything you do will not be perfect, and it doesn't need to. It's okay to pull out the fattest shit ever. Who cares? I mean, look at these superhero movies. They ruined their own IP, and they still gross a lot of money. So don't worry. Do the painting, do the drawing. We are not getting out of here alive anyway. Just do the painting. And if you find it hard to accept, maybe you want to try to see things this way. Most people on Earth will just admire you for having the guts for scratching pens on paper. So that's cool. It'll help you accept your current level as something that is not meant to last. Got it? Additionally, as long as you sacrifice, as long as you practice with intent, like fundamentals, and always try to develop ideas, it's only a matter of time. In less than I could hope, I started seeing improvements, which motivated me to keep on grinding. Should be the same for you. But soon, you'll see your bad art as a new step on the ladder. Even if sometimes it pisses me off, I can see where I did wrong, and that's quite satisfying actually. Also, I try to correct my mistakes on the next piece. Looks like I said everything I needed. What you need to keep in mind is, sometimes what holds you back from seeing the real progress is your mindset and how you approach art and life. Sometimes what holds you back is how you approach the practice itself and your current knowledge. If you're like me when I was younger, you'd have no idea what values are, what hard edges and soft edges are. I literally believed painters managed to sculpt faces from how they tilt the brush and how they push the brush on the canvas. Turns out it's more complicated and way more interesting than what I believed. So all in all, what you do with that story is for you or against you. Truth will always win. I mean, why cheating on yourself? Why not being more reliable for yourself, for your own sake? I'm saying that because at the end of the day, when looking at bad art, you will see that piece you did years ago while reviewing your old stuff, and maybe it'll bring you some joy to see how much you've evolved. Just make peace with it. It's for the best. But accepting imperfection in your art also makes things funnier. Every time I make a mistake that warps a face, I happen to laugh because it does kinda look ridiculous. And I see myself holding the brush like it's a diplomatic mission when in reality I'm just still learning the ropes. And I'm like super baked. Anyway, I hope you found some value in this video. I'm Goten, I like art. The best thing you could do right now is to go to Hooper. I'm sorry, I cut a chunk of the speech because I was doing the apology of debauchery. Just saying. I post some paintings and discuss variety of topics. If that's what you like, I've got the ambition to bring this channel to 1,000 subscribers before 2027. You're free to do what you want with that information. In the meanwhile, if you want a good entry point to my channel, I suggest my latest video or this video where I introduce you to 5 Japanese artists who are not manga artists. Ciao!